Hey everybody, what's up? Just wanted to do my first ever live stream here. Um, and today I just want to talk a little bit about depression and what causes it. Um, and one thing that most people think it is it's a chemical imbalance. But that's actually not true. It's not a chemical imbalance. Most doctors can't even explain what that means. Um, the number one cause of all mental health, including depression, of course, is actually inflammation of the brain. Now, this can come from injuries. It can come from stress. It can come from the kind of foods you eat. Are you drinking a bunch of alcohol? That kind of thing. So, getting sleep, drinking enough water, all those things can really can contribute to the inflammation of your brain. Um, and a lot of the way that doctors will handle depression is they don't actually handle it. They just kind of give you something so that it'll hopefully relieve the symptoms, but it doesn't actually treat the cause. In order to treat the cause, you have to get rid of the actual inflammation in your brain, which is causing these issues. I believe it's like 30% of people who take SSRI medication. Um, it works for about 30% of people, and then the other 70, they either get worse, they stay the same, and sometimes they get way worse, and sometimes they even get so bad they ended up, harming themselves in some way. So, um, not looking into these alternatives like vitamin D and other hormone replacement therapies. I mean, these things we're so far advanced medically now. Like, most doctors should know these things, and they still don't, or they refuse to learn. Um, Now, in my opinion, this is really all about money because I know people who make testosterone are also going to make money as well. But these large pharmaceutical companies that are just pushing out, like they're just massively pushing out these drugs. And these drugs, like I'm telling you, like they just don't work. Like these drugs are, um, they're just they're dangerous in some cases. It's really not a good way to go. And then a lot of therapists, like you go to a therapist and they'll say, I think what's causing this is a chemical imbalance, and they can't explain it. And then they just say things to you like, well, you just have a disease. Nothing we can do. We'll give you this though. You can relieve the symptoms. We're not actually going to treat the cause. So people think, well, okay, I guess I'll just take this crap. And it just for so many people it doesn't work, but it does make the pharmaceutical companies a lot of money. Um, and telling people that they're stuck with this disease, and I do think like Andrew Tate talks a lot with this, where he says that how can I believe in depression, or how can I have depression if I don't believe it? And he's got a good point there. Like he's not gonna. Most people who don't believe it, who have strong minds, aren't going to get depression. If you have a goal, you're not going to get depression. And again, these things relieve stress, right? So if you're doing something positive with your life, if you're trying to get in better shape, if you're eating better, you're doing all kinds of positive things, it reduces the inflammation of your brain. If you have this much inflammation in your brain, start working out, stop drinking so much, eat better, and all of a sudden it goes down and down, and that starts to actually relieve the symptoms and treat the cause. So, I do think that Andrew's right on that, where he talks about people just being able to kind of get over it on themselves. However, the part where I disagree with him is where he'll say things like, it's not a disease. Sometimes it really is. Sometimes there's people who have really bad levels of CTE or trauma, and it does cause so much inflammation. That being said, you can still treat it, but you have to have the tools. If you're going to get better, you have to have the tools, right? Like if you want to build a house with your bare hands, you can't just use your two bare hands. You have to use your hands, but tools with it. You have to have the proper tools to build a house. You have to have the proper tools to get better mentally, help to improve your mental health as well. And the biggest thing I found is, of course, the diet and everything like that, but also hormone replacement therapy. I've been on TRT for about almost 4 years now, and my mental health has increased pretty dramatically. It's not where it needs to be. I still have a long way to go, but we're getting there slowly but surely. So, if anyone else listening to this is having these issues with mental health, definitely go get your blood work done and go talk to a hormone expert, and they should be able to help you. Now, if you're in Canada, this is going to take a long time because there's not very many doctors, especially if you're in Southern Ontario like I am. It's going to take a while to get it, but you have to start the process and you have to start it soon because otherwise, if you're feeling like, I'm here, you're only going to go down. Every day you don't do anything about it, you're going to get worse and worse. And it's just not, it's a catastrophe for society if this keeps happening because there's going to be more and more suicides. Um, the other thing about telling people that they're stuck with a disease too, that I don't like is that it kind of makes you hopeless. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I firmly believe that hopelessness is a huge cause of stress and concern for society today because a lot of these people, if you don't have hope, you're not going to have goals, you're not going to have dreams. Your life is going to get worse and worse, which causes intense amounts of stress. Where like your financial levels are going to suffer, your work's going to suffer, your career is going to suffer, your family life is going to suffer, and all of a sudden you start to lose everything. And you really can't let that hopelessness feeling overwhelm your system. You need to do everything you can to fight it. I know it's hard to get out of bed. You just have to do it anyway. I know it's hard to do some push-ups. I know it sucks. No one really likes doing it, but you have to do it anyway. Otherwise, just going to be spiraling into this deep hole that's going to be very, very hard to climb out of. Not impossible, but don't let yourself spiral into that hole in the first place, and your life's going to be much easier. Um, that when doctors continue to give these SSRI medications and just treat the symptoms and not the cause, like I said, that's going to cause a lot of hopelessness. It's going to cause a lot of stress because they're going to give you this medication and it's not going to work. Then everyone in your life is going to be questioning, well, why isn't this working? What's wrong with this person? And the reason that it took me so long is because I didn't have the tools, and doctors were not telling me that. They were actually telling me the opposite about hormone replacement therapy. They were telling me things like, "Oh no, you can't take it because you'll have a heart attack." Well, when I talked to my hormone doctor, who's an expert on hormones, he said the opposite of true. If you have low testosterone, you're more likely to have a heart attack. If your testosterone is like right in the middle, and you increase it to where it's optimal, or if it's low, if you increase it to its optimal, you're not going to have a heart attack. Now, if you skyrocket your testosterone and it just goes up to a level where it's like double or triple what it's supposed to be, sure. But your levels are supposed to be at the top end of the optimization, which is in Canada we measure it differently. So I think it's anywhere between 28 and 35. That's where you want to be. Now, when I started taking it, I was at 11. So I essentially needed almost a 300% increase. And my doctors and I went to a urologist for some reason as well. I was referred to a urologist by my family doctor, and they were just saying the same thing: heart attack, heart attack, heart attack, or you're not gonna be able to have kids and all that. It's like, well, I'm not gonna have kids if I'm living a shitty life either, right? So, give me the testosterone. They just would not do it. They would only want to give me SSRI medication, which is just it's ridiculous. And and like my doctor said, if your testosterone's low, right, if you're under 8, which is like with the lowest end of their range, which is a stupid range, and get into that a different time. But you know, their range is somewhere in Canada it's between 8 and 28. 28 is the bottom end of optimal. They don't want you over 28, which is ridiculous. They don't even actually want you close to 28. And if you're not under 8, they won't give you anything. Right. So even if you go to the doctor and you come in and your testosterone level is at say 6, they're going to say, okay, yeah, we'll give you a cream, or maybe just work on your diet, or try to exercise a little bit more to boost your testosterone. And technically, that will boost your testosterone, but it's not going to take you anywhere where you need to go. Okay, if you have a testosterone level of 6, it's going to take you like a year of hard work just to get to like 10, and then you're still low. Like it's still like you need if you want to go from 6 to 30, you need help with that. Like, especially when you're, a little bit older. If you're not in your 20s, and even if you are in your 20s and it's that low, you're gonna need some help because you're not gonna be able to increase your testosterone by that much. Although it will technically improve, it's not gonna improve enough. And I hate when they say, "Well, that this will boost your testosterone because it improves your testosterone." It's like, yeah, but not enough. Going from 6 to 8 is not enough. You need to go from 6 to 30 or around there, right? So it's not enough. They don't do anything to help, and this is a huge gain for pharmaceutical companies, and the doctors seem to be blinded by it, even though there's lots of knowledge out there and there's lots of studies, especially that have been done in the United States, talking about hormone replacement therapy and how important it is for men. They won't do it. And again, to bring up Andrew Tate, he thinks all this kind of shit is done on purpose, and I agree with him. I don't think they want men to be strong. I think they want us to be weak. I think they want us to be slaves. I think they want us stuck in a shitty job that we don't like, paying taxes and just kind of in a sexless marriage and just keep you down, because if they keep men from being strong, they can do whatever they want. Because no offense, ladies, but it would have to be us who stops them, right? Women are strong, men are strong, but in different ways. They're trying to take away our strength. And the way they're trying to empower women is actually hurting women as well, right? And all of these things relate to depression because this all brings society down. And a lot of people think that, well, the empire's collapsing. Yeah, they might be right. And the best way to do it is to quote unquote kill the fighting age males. Now they're not necessarily murdering us, but giving us medications that don't help, and not only don't help, but actually lower our quality of life, is slowly going to kill you. It's just in a different way. They're not coming in with swords and cutting everyone's heads off or anything like that. They're just giving you medication. It's going to make you weak. It's going to make you sick, and it's going to keep you sick. Unless you do your own research, that's the only way to get better. And that's why I wanted to make this video today, guys, just to kind of talk a little bit about that, because I know it's extremely important. And with today, with all what's going on in society and how sad things are getting with all the homelessness and the poverty and the violence increase here in Canada. I mean, it's just gross, and I want to see it stop. So hopefully this message gets out to a bunch of you guys, and you guys take it to heart. And if you are struggling, come on the journey with me. I'm not all the way better yet. I still have work to go, and it's way easier to do this as a team rather than just do it individually, because it's very difficult. You need a team of strong-minded, like-minded people. So if you guys like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. What are your experiences with mental health? What are you doing for it? Um, have you given up? Hopefully not. And if you have, please don't give up. If you have, you can start again. You're still here, right? And as long as what do they say? Every day above ground is a good day. Well, think about it that way. You're here. You can do it. So let's get to work on this, guys. And again, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys later.